Hey guys, Riley here. So, lately there's been a lot of leaks and rumors going around PlayStation involving all their live service games. They've been trying to push very aggressively into the live service market with new games for each of their existing franchises. Most of the games have either come out and failed or have been cancelled entirely. Very few have been successful upon release, and very few are still currently in development. So it is not entirely known what a lot of these games would have been like upon release, but many are speculating that they would have been multiplayer focused, always online, filled with microtransactions, and designed to be played and updated for many years to come. With the rise in popularity of games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Call of Duty Warzone, PlayStation sees how successful they have been and that there is an audience of gamers that enjoy those kinds of experiences. I personally believe that PlayStation realizes they've been lacking strong multiplayer games in recent years. They used to have strong multiplayer components to their already fantastic single-player games. Games like Uncharted 2, 3, and 4, the original The Last of Us, and the Killzone games come to mind as being excellent single-player offerings that also included fantastic multiplayer modes as well. But in recent years, a lot of their first-party studios have been ditching the multiplayer component and focusing solely on the single-player experience, which I'm all for. Believe me, I love great story-driven single-player games, most of all, but I enjoy the variety and replayability of a strong multiplayer component as well. That's what I feel has led to PlayStation into this pursuit of crafting so many live service games recently. They've had some success with multiplayer games recently, like with Helldivers 2 and Gran Turismo 7, and some of their planned live service games are still on track for release, such as Bungie's brand new IP Marathon. But they've also had several misfires. Concord, which came out only a few months ago, had a massive budget and lengthy development time from Firewalk Studios. And then when the game came out, the sales were next to nothing, resulting in them shutting the game down completely after just 2 weeks. The biggest bummer for me though was the cancellation of The Last of Us Online. It was going to be a standalone game, set in the same universe as Part 1 and 2, but not directly connected to the same story. It was going to be very ambitious. It was going to take place in San Francisco and follow a new set of characters and factions. It was presumably going to be somewhat open world. You would probably have been able to team up with your friends and go out to fight infected and enemy factions, scavenge for supplies, and take on quests. It was supposed to be heavily story-driven, which Naughty Dog has always been known for, but would have been very ambitious and new for a multiplayer game. It was in development since 2020, around the release of The Last of Us Part 2. But then in 2023, after years of development time and money spent, they announced that it was cancelled.
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Insomniac Games was working on a Spider-Man multiplayer game. A trailer leaked online for the game a while back. It was supposedly going to be called Spider-Man: The Great Web. It looks like the game was going to involve Spider-Man from different dimensions coming together to fight crime, similar to Into and Across the Spider-Verse. You would have been able to team up with friends, each of you a different kind of Spider-Man, traverse the city together, and fight the forces of evil. This game sounded really cool to me, because it's already established that multiple Spider-Man exist, so why not allow for friends to team up and take on the role of different Spider-Men together? But sadly, it's been cancelled. The Horizon franchise from Guerrilla was rumored to be getting an MMO-style game. It was supposed to be an open-world multiplayer game, where similar to The Last of Us Online, you would have been able to team up with your friends, traverse the open world, take down machines, and take on different quests. But then just recently, it was announced that, shocker, it's been cancelled. And then another rumor came out that Bluepoint Games was working on a God of War live service game. This confuses me though, as I'm not sure what a God of War live service game would even look like. God of War has always been heavily story-driven and focused on Kratos as a character, and now Atreus as well in the newer games. Unlike Spider-Man, God of War doesn't have a large pool of playable characters to fill a multiplayer lobby with. So would you be playing as a completely new cast of characters? Would it have been an entirely new story, or have no story at all? We don't know, but it doesn't matter now, because yet again, it's been cancelled. Bend Studio was supposedly working on a brand new Sci-Fi live service game. I'm really curious to know what this game would have been about, but it's too late now because, say it with me, it's been cancelled. Deviation Games, a new development studio that was in partnership with PlayStation, was working on a brand new live service game. The studio was being led by Jason Blundell and Dave Anthony, two veteran directors that worked on some of the original Call of Duty Black Ops games. It was reportedly supposed to be a very new and creative live service experience, but unfortunately, not long after announcing the project, the game was cancelled and the entire studio was shut down. It's clear at this point that PlayStation's live service plan is in major trouble. What's going on that's causing every single one of these live service games to be shut down? After all the cancellations, a lot of their studios have been moved back to creating new single-player games. Naughty Dog is creating Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, a brand new sci-fi IP. Sony Santa Monica is rumored to be working on a new IP. Insomniac is working on Wolverine. Guerrilla is seemingly working on Horizon 3. Sony Bend is working on a new IP, and the list goes on. These games are all seemingly single-player experiences. Sucker Punch may be one of the few exceptions with the release of a multiplayer mode in Ghost of Tsushima, meaning it's likely they'll include a multiplayer component in their upcoming Ghost of Yotei. But PlayStation has been going to one extreme in the PlayStation 4 and 5 generations by focusing almost entirely on single-player only experiences. And now recently, they've leaned into the other extreme by trying to create several live service games, but it's obviously not working out for them. So they've retreated back to making single player only because it's been working so well for them in recent years. But I believe there should be a middle ground, similar to how they used to make games back during the PlayStation 3 generation. Gamers still want amazing single player experiences, but many of us are beginning to miss great multiplayer experiences as well. Start crafting multiplayer modes again and incorporate them into the same package with great single player experiences. The formula worked for them before, so why can't it work now? A lot of gamers have been getting tired of the live service formula for the past few years anyways. I think if PlayStation was quicker to release these live service games a few years ago, they might have had more success. But now that the live service hype has died down, they should just go back to their roots. Go back to what made PlayStation great in the first place. Single player and multiplayer, together, unified as one experience. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of PlayStation's live service games. Are you sad that a lot of them got cancelled? Or are you actually happy that they're kind of going back to their roots and creating more single player games? Let me know. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed the video essay, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see future gaming content from me. If you guys want to stay in touch with me outside of YouTube, you can follow me on my socials. And if you guys happen to like original short film and web series content, go follow me on my other YouTube channel, RyGuy1237. All those links are in the description below. Thanks for watching.